Go ahead,
Is the
Topper.
recordings on? Okay, perfect. So today we're going to talk primarily about the anchoring as a logi and also talk about the ospreys and basilisks and so on that rely on cap chains. As we normally run the scythes and semis, and they are faster and also more independent between each other, right? So they don't rely on each other to do their job. And so it's a bit different when we run the ospreys and also the armor repair versions of them. And so I'm linking the for you guys to see in fleet. And you should see it there. So if you click on that link, it pops up and you can see in the osprey that we have here, we have three shield remote boosters, medium, and we also have two medium capacitor transmitters. The basic idea is here that you create a cap chain between each other, and that cap chain makes it easier for you guys to keep your prop mods on. It's easier also to keep your remote rep on people. And so what it kind of opens up is here there's a large shield, and also if you go down in the rigs, you can see there's also two shield field extenders. So the basic idea is to get some kind of a base amount of hit points, so you don't get alphaed off the field. But as you know, in fleets, it's very important that you rely on other people to rep you. So what you want to do is you want to have as high resist as possible, because that kind of makes the repping powers of the other even stronger. So as long as you don't get alphaed up and people can hold the rep, it's good to have very high resists. What you also see in this one, and this one is can be used for the rapid arc holes. And so that one has a micro warp drive. You can also have afterburner. It kind of depends on the fleet that you're in. It has one adaptive invol and one EM field to plug in the EM hole, and also the thermal hole that it has. So with the rig, the medium anti-thermal screen reinforcer there. And so here's what the main difference between the ospreys and the ships that rely on cap chains and, for example, the scythes are. So you can see here I put in a conjunctive gravimetric scanning array, right? And so it's basically making it harder for it to be jammed out. And at the same time, we also see in the lows, you can see it has a signal amplifier, so it's also harder to damp it because it has stronger lock range and it's also faster locking. And so it's because one of the main weaknesses of running cap chains is that if some of you get jammed out or if you get damped down, it's very, very hard to keep the cap chain going. And if you don't keep the cap chain going, all of them will kind of fall like domino bricks, right? Because then you can't keep up your remote reps and suddenly you lose your power. Does that make sense?
I was gonna ask if I can interject like a quick 3-point, super short,
Yeah.
3 sentence item here.
Yeah, no, you're more welcome to do that throughout.
Thanks, Topar. This is Sergeant Space Spunky. I'm also a waffle along with Topar here. But the main points when you're flying logi, basically if you're flying this fit that Topar linked, your main 3 objectives are to, or sorry, I guess it would really narrow down to 2 objectives. The main 2 objectives are to supply shield hit points to your bros, because you are a logi pro, and that is where your shield transporters come in. So that's your very, very, very first priority. That is the top of the list. The second highest priority thing you're doing is supplying capacitor to your other logi bros. That's where those capacitor transporters come in, because the way all those reps you're giving your shooty bros are costing you capacitor, and you need to be able to get capacitor, and all your friends need to be able to get capacitor. And guess what? The Osprey and many other logi ships, you kind of can generate free non-third law thermodynamics capacitor. You can use those energy transfers basically to give free cap to your buddies, and they can use the same things to give free cap to you. So that's the entire sort of point of the Osprey style of logi. You're giving free cap to your buddies, they're giving free cap to you, and you're both using that free cap to give shield hit points to your bros. Everything down the list from there basically comes about you being able to lock your bros in order to continue to give them both free cap and shield hit points. Anyway, that's the short version. Go ahead, Topper.
Yeah, exactly. And so yeah, that's all the basics. You want to, as a logi bro, the main point is just to make sure you get those reps out. And so that's also, especially if you have drones and you want to get on kills, make sure you assign them to the FC or somebody else in the fleet. And so whenever they attack something, your drones will do it. And then you don't have to think about it at all. And so you can just focus on repping.
Always focus on repping. That is way more important. I mean, yeah, get on kills as much as you can because this is Eve. But and that's basically the point of Eve. But also remember that these are your guys out there, and that's why you're out there, is to keep them from dying, keep your bros alive. That is, trust me, as a often logi bro, that is basically the best feeling you get in Eve, is keeping your bros alive. But feel free to get those drones on some kills to help out a little bit with DPS, but also just to be like, yeah, I was here.
Yeah, that's a really good point. And so what I basically want to do is I would just want us to go out and do it in practice because that is a lot easier. And so if I get those who are in an Osprey to X up, and I also have an extra Osprey I can give to someone who wants to practice and have the skills for it.
Yeah, I think we had one more. You guys traded me, but I only had one.
Okay, roger that. So we currently have 3 guys. Is there someone who is interested in being in the Osprey? That's perfect, you guys. Does anyone have some skills? Just let me know in Fleet Channel or speak up here. Yeah, I got 1 extra, so I'll just give you a line. I'll trade you an Osprey.
Permission requested. Docking request accepted.
Or you can, if you could, no, I can find you here. Trade. There we go. Did you get the Osprey? Perfect. Sounds good. So can I have those who are not currently in an Osprey? Can I get you to X up in what type of logi you're in? Okay, that's perfect. Can I get 2 people to X up in Caracal? It can be heavy missile Caracal, preferably. Yeah, I'll get to the broadcasting once we're out there. Okay, I need 1 more Caracal or cruiser-sized ship that is shield tank that can take some damage. Captain Space,
Totally
can I
feels
get
like
you?
cheating when you build a cap chain.
Yeah, we'll try and see it goes, and then basically what I want us to do is those of you who run the cap chain will run a cap chain, while 2 Caracals are shooting at each other. Oh, okay, we'll do that.
Also, fuck thermodynamics.
Sergeant Space, can I get you to go into one of the quiet site systems from here?
Sure, I can. I'll go find one.
Yeah, just like a neighboring system or something like that. Just not as long as we're not in head and then just in the middle of nowhere, so we can look for scan probes.
Yep.
Okay, can I get 1 more guy in a Caracal? I need someone in a Caracal to X up. That would be great, please.
I can switch out of the Scythe into a Caracal.
No, I want to the Logi Bros to. Do we have? Let me see here. Do we have anyone who can fly a Caracal? Good. So as a fish, I'm gonna trade your Caracal, So I hope you can use it. It's only meta guns on that carousel, so it should be good. Accept the trade. And so I'll just Xing up here again. Let me know you can fly it, Professor Fish. Just speak up in fleet or on comms.
Yeah, I can fly it.
Okay, perfect. So I just want to make sure here. Can I get all the ospreys to X up again? Okay, perfect. And you guys will be teaming up with the Rockiness Pun in the carousel. If you can X up, please. Perfect. So what I want you guys to do is everybody, and this, yeah, just wait. Do not add fish to that one, but just so those who are on the Osprey team, that will be Bridget, Plex, Knight, Align, and Ronius. You guys should all add each other on your watch list. So I click on the person, you click on and go down to watch list.
FC, you're breaking up. Also, you should probably add those guys to a individual squad and use squad v squad.
Yeah, we'll do it in a bit.
You're breaking up.
Still
Real
breaking
bad.
up.
Yeah, real bad. Mr. Roboto.
Am I still a robot?
Nope, you're good now. You're good. Good.
Okay,
So,
I don't know
how
why.
do you add watch list?
Yeah, so are you right-click on the person you want to add to your watch list? So you go on to Fleet, and once you're in Fleet, you click Add to Watch List. And so while these guys, first team, are adding their own...
See, I'd recommend you move people between squads so they know who the shit they're friends with, basically.
Yeah, I'll do that once I get them on the watch list. I'll just force move. And so what I want you guys to do, people in the Skype and the bursts and so on, please X up. So if you're in the Skype or burst, please X up. Okay, so the four of you, Professor Silver and Sylvetta and Anomalous, you guys just watch list each other up, and I'll set up the squads in the meantime. Okay, are you guys set up?
So you want all them in like squad 2?
Yeah, I'm trying to say I'm not leader of that.
Yeah, and if I make you boss, then no one can see the fleet. I guess it doesn't matter. We all are in here now, right?
Okay,
Yeah,
make him boss. He can be
Okay,
boss,
perfect.
or okay, he's got to set a new advert. Make him like a wing commander or something, so that he can move
yeah.
people around.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, and I apologize for this inconvenience. It's kind of
Kelthar,
annoying,
no,
No.
Likabara,
It
right?
works. It's CCP's fault. Don't forget.
Yeah, it's not your
Yeah.
fault, buddy. There, you're
Make
wing
him,
commander, so
make
you should
him
be able to move us now.
supreme commander of the Asgard fleet, etc.
It's kind of a bummer. It doesn't show your incoming cap buddy targeting you. I mean, it shows him targeting yellow boxing you, but it's not like a warp disruptor or something where it shows the icon.
No.
That's a bummer.
It'll still show it in your overview, but that is it. If you have them on your overview, it'll show them yellow boxing you. It will not show it above your capacitor, though.
Yeah, that's funky. I wonder why they decided to do it that way.
It's
You see every
only
other
negative
guardian.
effects. Negative effects only.
Ah, I see.
Okay, and so there's free move is on. So those who are with the Ospreys go to squad 3. Those who are with the Skype go to squad 4, please. Sergeant, did you find out the system?
SV5 is not clear, but actually, he said as 7 Thrashers landed on the gate, and he had to jump out. Hopefully, But they will run from cruisers. It was 5 Thrashers and a Navitas and like 2 random bitches in SP5 on the HED gate, the head gate. Kerber's is obviously high sec, so we don't want to go there.
No, we don't like that. Okay, I'll just make a safe spot within head AD.
Yeah, it'll work. We can go to SP5 too. It was pretty clear. I think there was maybe like 8 in local. Maybe 5 or 7 of them showed up on gate to try to haze me and failed, obviously. But yeah, it's nothing we couldn't handle. Horde for life. Easiest is just to create a safe. If you need me to create one in head, I will, and you can focus on the fleet.
Yeah, do that. That would be great. If you're already in here, just make
Right.
one.
I'll create you
everybody-
an indirect in head.
Perfect. If I can get you guys, everybody to undock, everybody undock, align to the sun once you undock. And so I'm just briefly also going to go through the fleet basics. I don't know how well you guys know stuff yet, so we have a little time until the safe spot is set up. So normally what you want to do is, right now you want to be undocked and you want to be aligned to the sun. Normally you guys should not undock before the FC tells you to undock. And so that's basically to not give away to the enemy if they have any ults or something, what you're undocking in and what type of ships you're in. And so it gives you kind of like a little extra element of surprise.
FC Sergeant Space Monkey is at safe, and feel free to come here anytime.
Perfect. I just linked the Sergeant Space Monkey. Everybody warp to Sergeant Space Monkey at 20. Everybody warp to Sergeant Space Monkey at 20.
Warp drive active.
So while we're warping there, I would like one Osprey to X up to be an anchor. Can we get a Osprey? Okay, perfect. That's Plex. I'll just take Plex. And can I get one of the Sky Bros to X up to be anchor? Okay, perfect. Silver. So what I want you guys...
Yeah, you've cut out, mate. Unfortunately.
We got
Do you know
who?
about the you know about the hostile?
Yeah, I
in
know
local?
them. We're in a safe spot, and I get D-scan up, so we will be ready to go.
FYI, hostiles are pretty insubstantial. We will rape them if they show up. It's like 6 Thrashers and a couple of other frigates.
Yeah, he already left. He just wanted us to make sure we knew it.
Oh, I came down here a little while ago because I wanted to say something. Are you guys okay for me to say something for the next, 10 seconds?
Yeah, sure, go.
Okay. So in just under an hour, there's going to be a big op. The FC is going to be Rockin' Petite. He's taking Windrunners, and it's going to be a big ass fight. So
when is he leaving?
So it's about an hour from now. So I guess he'll ping in around 45 minutes.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be done way before that. I have my own fleet. I'm running in 30 minutes.
Okay, I was going to say, if there's any waffle as well that wants to help him, because I'm not sure if he's done Windrunners before. He's got an FC Cheetah and he says he can scan and stuff, but if anybody's got a lot of experience with that, wants to do a bit of hand holding, that's great. It's Rockin' Petit, he's in the channel above. So yeah, you guys should be aware of that. It's going to be a good fight, could be dank kills, so have fun. I'm going to bed because I'm fucking tired.
Thanks, bro.
Sounds good. Thanks, bro.
Thanks,
No
man.
worries, man.
The hostile gang jumped into Cabar's, I believe.
Okay, Roger. We'll just ignore them. We have them. We know where they are, right? So don't worry too much about us, and we should be able to tank what they have.
Yeah.
This is definitely a drill op. Let's keep on with that.
Yeah. So we have Flex Lord at all Ospreys. Everybody, make sure you right-click on him on your watch list, and you say approach him and keep. Sorry, not approach. Keep at range 500 meters. Make sure everybody does that. Plex Lord, I want you to go away from the group of people. I want you to drag away to, let me see here, to the sun. Go to the sun. Make sure you are around 30, 40 kilometers away. Does that make sense? I will explain in a second. Plexlord, does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. And so Silver, I want you to do you to the same, but away from the sun. So I want you to align away from the sun. Everybody who is in the Skyjar burst, make sure you keep at range on Silver at 500 meters. Silver, do you copy?
Yep, sounds good.
Perfect. And so basically this is basically a standard maneuver for when you act as a logi anchor. So you want to keep your fleet at a range so that you are in between one fleet and the enemy fleet.
Do you mind if I chip in shit from time to time,
Yeah,
Topper?
yeah, no, go ahead. I'll just try and figure out if Plex he went away as an anchor. Just add.
All right, so there are two main groups with most fleets. They are the Logi group and the DPS group. The DPS group is doing the work. They are shooting the enemy fleet. The Logi group is the one who are the heroes. They are basically keeping all their DPS bros alive. Typically, there are two groups in space. So if you zoom way out while you're in the middle of a fight, you will see two main groups of little blue boxes. Those blue boxes are the DPS groups and the Logi groups. The Logi groups are going to be a certain distance from the DPS groups. The position of the DPS groups, of course, is going to be determined by the distance from the enemy ships. If you are flying Logi, typically there's a really, really easy way to fly Logi, and that is to orbit your Logi anchor. Typically, that will be definitely prescribed during the fleet formation. If that is the case, great, good for you, awesome. That is the super duper duper easy way to do it. He will keep you within repping range of the DPS group, the DPS, the DPS bros, as it were. You are the Logi bros. If that is not the case, sometimes that is the case. Sometimes it's not the case if you are a frigate Logi, so you're flying, like Inquisitor Logi or Burst Logi or something like that. Sometimes the organization of the fleet will not be such that you will have a Logi anchor. If there is a Logi anchor, of course, you will orbit him. If there's not, you will have to figure out where the hell to fly yourself. What that means is you need to be, rule one, always within range to rep all of your DPS bros. Two, try to keep out of the DPS range of the enemy. Those are the only real important rules of flying your own Logi. The other one, of course, being to just orbit the Logi bro, or the Logi anchor. The end.
Perfect. And so what I want us to illustrate right now is the scenario where we only have two caracals, right? They will act as our DPS, the two main bodies of fleets fighting against each other, while you guys focus on being the Logis that place your repairs on it, and that you also still try to keep the other ships between you. And so what I want you guys to do is the two caracals to circle around 500 kilometers around the cargo container. So if I can get you guys burn in there. While you do that, I want both of my logic groups to spread out to around 30 kilometers away from. If you're in the burst.
Cargo container.
Yeah, exactly. The cargo container in space.
How about all the Ospreys stick together with the Basilisk, which is here for some reason, who knows why, and the Bursts and Whirlwinds all stick together as well, and support the other one.
Exactly. So that's what we're doing. We have two teams, each on each side of the cargo container. And so make sure if you're in the burst, just go a little bit closer, but try to stay in orbit with your own support.
Sorry, I was talking in local earlier, but yes, the burst and the scythes will stick together. So I'm going to go ahead and assign someone the responsibility here, unless anyone wants to volunteer. Count Sudoku, you are officially. Oh wait, no, you're a Merlin. Sorry, I'm retarded. Anonymous Toady, you are the non-cap, aka no cap chain anchor. So Anonymous Toady, you are going to be repping Professor
No,
Fish.
wait. I
All
already
right,
have
sorry.
a.
All right, go. Sorry. Disregard
Yeah, no.
anything over the last 15 to 20 seconds and pay attention to what the other guy is going to say right now.
Yeah, so what we normally do is when you run with a cap chain, and so that is the most confusing part about it is that that who is going to rep who, right? And who is going to
Who's going to cap who?
yeah, exactly. Who's gonna cap who? And so what we do is we set up what is called a logi channel. So what I want you guys to do is join what is called Horde dot logi and join that channel, please, if you're an Osprey.
Anyone who doesn't know how to do that, look in one of your chat channels. There should be a small like bubble chat view. It's just basically like a ovoid with a small triangle at the bottom. If you click on it, it should bring up a window that says channels. Type in Horde, HORDE dot period logi, LOGI, and click join. That should get you into that channel.
And so you should only join the channel if you are in an Osprey. You should only join that channel if you're in an Osprey or a Basilisk that relies on a cap chain. So, and it's very important that if you have a channel like this, that you either create a new channel or that you make sure that nobody goes AFK in the channel. Because what you're going to do is that the first person is going to give cap to the last person. So in this case,
so they have two energy transfers, right, Topper?
yeah, correct. And both of them
Okay,
should be put
so
on the next
if
one.
you join that channel, that means you're logi with cap transfers. What that means is you look in the chat channel and see whose name is right above yours. So it should be arranged alphabetically. You also look to see whose name is right below yours. Guess what? These two people you transfer cap to. So you should be within range of both of them because you should be enjoying the local proximity to whoever the logi anchor is, which should have been communicated probably in this channel. In this case, just approach one of them probably. But you should be using one of your capacitor transfers. That's the one that transmits capacitor. That's the middle of that little circle at the bottom of your screen. To one of these, and you transfer capacitor to the other one that's above you in that channel. Those are the two people, your two logi bros that you're most the friends with. You are their backup, and you are their backup. Basically, they are depending on you to transfer them cap, and they're going to transfer you cap because guess what? If they're above you, guess what? That means that you're right below them. So, be best buddies with those guys.
Yeah, so it's very important that you stay information as well. So yeah, so normally for example, in Waffles, we have actually two channels. So one channel, you join it if you're in Logi. And so there you would coordinate who's the anchor and so on. You would also be on the same sub-mumble channel. And so that's so you guys can whisper. What I also want to be talking to you guys about a little later is also, for example, as the anchor, you want to make sure that you let your FC know if the shields are holding or not. And we'll talk a little bit about that. But right now, I want to make sure that the four of you in the Logi channel, you guys are set up so you have a cap chain. One on the person above you and one on the person below you in the cap. If you're at the bottom or at the top of it, you just add that person, right? So if you're at the bottom, you would tag the top and the one just below, above you.
In other words, the cap chain forms a complete circle. So if you're at the very, very top of, you add the very, very bottom. And hey, it's very
Is the
Makes
cap
everybody
chain
feel
set
warm
up?
and fuzzy inside.
Yep, we got a cap chain going.
Okay,
Good deal.
perfect.
We're rocking.
So
Make
what
sure one way to test that cap chain is everyone to make sure that all of their shield transfers, aka what they're doing to rep everyone, are running. It's if your cap transfer is running correctly in these sort of fleets, then all of your shield transfers should be able to be run all the time. So one way to check that is just, hey, like lock 4 of your buddies and start transferring them shield. And if they don't work, hey, something's wrong. You're not getting enough cap.
Yeah, and so that's what I want to do now. I want everybody to lock up your respectable caracal, right? So if you were in the Ospreys or the Basilisk, make sure you lock up Russ. And if you're in the Skyche and Burst, lock up Professor Fish. Let me know. Then pull in if you need the range. Pull in, and make sure you have the anger to do that. Yeah, so let me see here. That was Plex Lord. If I can get you to burn to the cargo container bit, and what you would do as a logi, you would be in the sub mumble, and you could. So what you would do is you would
You're
to
breaking up,
people
buddy.
who were, yeah, I know. So you would whisper to the people in your fleet that they should put on the prop mod, for example, right? So what I want everybody to do now is you put on your prop mods until you get in within 40 kilometers. Does that make sense? Correct?
Yep.
Perfect.
I'm heading toward the cargo container.
Yeah, no, I can see you guys. You're 60 off right now, so that's perfect. And so you guys should lock up your caracal now. And make sure you as the take off your prop mods and just align somewhere so you can kind of keep the same distance as the anchor. And I'll keep scanning and make sure there's no enemies coming closer. Okay, so it looks like you guys are within range now. So I want you guys to make sure as logic, be ready to rep your friends. Be ready to rep your friends. And so I want the caracals to start shooting each other now. If I can get the caracals to shoot each other, don't
Yeah.
worry.
Don't.
Can't be that hard. Come on, guys.
Mercenarius Fun and Professor Fish could just start trying to murder each other. That would be outstucking fucking tacular.
Do it.
Yeah, I can see some damage coming in now. So so basically, this is what is to be happening in the fleet, right? And so you will have people who are engaging each other and taking damage. And so your role as a logic pro is to make sure that you keep your reps on them so they don't die. And so right now, you guys are doing such a great job that it's very hard for me to see that they're even taking any damage.
You're in FC, you're in Leah Cadabra, right?
Yeah.
Start shooting Sergeant Space Monkey, and I'm trying to talk locally right now. I'm gonna broadcast reps and see if lodges respond.
Outstanding idea. So you guys, you should be ready when you go here. You make sure you're in your fleet tab. Right. So under that you have history. Make sure you are on the history tab. And when you on the history tab, you want to make sure you say filters is on, and broadcast history only. Does that make sense? So everybody should have in their history tab so first fleet tab.
So if you have your fleet window open, so there was a window when you first clicked join fleet. There was a window. It was typically shaped like a bunch of chevrons, which are two bunch of lines like combined together and so forth. There is a tab. Obviously, if you're used to Windows, then there is several tabs, 3 of them: My Fleet, History, and Fleet Finder. Fleet Finder was the one you used when you first found the fleet, obviously. History is the one you want to use while you're in the fleet as a logistics pilot. It's actually also the one you want to use while you're as a DPS pilot, because guess what? When the FC broadcasts a target, it's going to show up in the history tab. If you're a logistics pilot, people wanting repairs are going to show up in the history tab. Right now, there's going to be something that shows up in the history tab, and it's going to say Sergeant Space Monkey, SGT Space Monkey, needs shield. What this is going to mean is that anyone who has that history tab open should be able to control click, and what that means is you're going to hold down the control button and click on the green or on the basically the words. You're going to click on the words. If you hold down the control button and click on the words, you will start locking whatever is appropriate for that command. It's this history tab basically is commands from your fleet commanders, your squad commanders, everything in your fleet. If you hold down the control button on your keyboard, I'm sorry if that doesn't apply to any Mac users, but this is a Windows-oriented broadcast. And click on that broadcast. That is a broadcast. The line, it'll have a line that says what the time was and then what the broadcast was. That'll let you lock that person. And when that pops up at the top of your screen, typically, you'll be able to activate any of your mods on that person, just as if you locked them in any other way. So recently, SGT, aka Sergeant Space Monkey, broadcasted Sergeant Space Monkey needs shield. What that really meant was that anyone who's friends with Sergeant Space Monkey, aka his Logi Bros, should have locked him up and started repping him, providing him with shields and or armor support. Carry on.
Yeah, and so and so what I want you to do is shoot me as well. Sergeant Space Monkey, please shoot me. And so what I'll do is do not lock me up until I broadcast, right? So I want you guys to be as quick as possible. Some situations there will be pressures, so only lock me up once I start broadcasting. And so now my broadcast is coming up, and so you guys should start locking me up straight away and apply your reps as soon as possible. As you can see, my shields are nearly down, and so there you can see the reps are landing on your friend, and that is to be what is happening in a fleet fight, right? And so you are providing your friends with shields so they can withstand enemy, right? And so he can apply damage, and so you can win. And so that's
Remember that as a Logi Bro, your Logi friends will show up almost exactly like enemy pilots would show up. They will show up in the area that if you locked something or someone, let's say you locked an asteroid, or you locked a friend, or you locked an enemy, it's going to show up in a specific place on your screen. If you lock up a friend that you want to repair with your shield transporters, he's going to show up in an almost exactly identical position on your computer screen. The difference, of course, will be at the bottom of the little circle where all the little arrows are circling around. You'll see a small purple square with a sort of a man, a white little man imposed upon it. Very, very small purple circle. And you know what? Good sign. That means that you've got the right guy locked and you're about to rep that guy. The enemies, they will not have that purple circle. So make sure you keep that guy alive when he shows up on your lock screen.
Yeah, and so basically we need to wrap it up soon. So basically, if you also, guys, now that you've been very zoomed in, make sure you zoom out so you can see the entirety of the field, so you can see all of the pilots in space near you. So I would like you guys to zoom out and just do that. And
One easy way to do that is to hold both buttons on your mouse, so left and right button, and then move the mouse to the top of your screen. It will zoom you out so you can see the entire field of battle.
Yeah, and so one thing that I use the scroll on my mouse, and so what you want to make sure that you're very safe with doing is you don't want to double click. Double clicking in space will make your ship move that direction. And so if you're anchoring up on someone, if you do that, you will deviate from your group. And that's very important. That doesn't happen if you do the cap chain. the basic idea behind it is that if you get out of position, you cannot keep the cap chain, and then your logi will start losing their red power. And so that's one of the main things I just wanted to show you guys and kind of illustrate in a practical way. So do you guys have any questions or Sergeant, if you have any final comments or things you also think should be good knowledge?
Yeah,
I think
had a
it's
quick
really
question.
good. I mean, go for it.
I'm sorry. Can you do you have to have 4 in your chain, or can you get away with 2 or 3?
You need a minimum.
Two is the maximum you need. If you're trained in Logistics 5, which is a Tech 2 skill, you can actually fly Tech 2 Logistics with a single tap chain.
Hey,
aka
hold on.
you are sending one person capacitor and one person is sending you capacitor.
Cancel.
Sorry, 1 sec. We're about to fight this hostile gang on the SV5 gate if you want to come help us.
Roger that.
Absolutely, Mr. Wright.
So what I want you to do is make sure everybody, so this is you're gonna try this out. The Basilisk, do not go engage. Go to the station and switch to a fast ship so you can catch up. Sergeant, can I get you to go scout the SV5 gate? Everybody align SV5. Yep. Everybody align SV5. I'll be broadcasting it.
Do you want the guys to come with or what?
Yeah. Everybody make sure that you unlock your targets that you have. Make sure you align to SV5 gate. Basilisk, go to the station, switch to something else. Everybody else align SV5 gate. So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna see and then we're gonna help out. So I want the Plex, I want you to be the anchor. I will be guiding you the entire way. Just make sure that you guys just anchor up on Plex Lord.
FC, it's 12 Maulers and maybe 5 Executors as Logi.
Roger that. So that should be no issue, but we will still do it good. This is going to be a good test run. So everybody align SV5. Let me know once the others engage it.
Maybe 50 kilometers off the gate. PL forces are on the gate and moving toward the other forces, which are standby.
Roger that. Sergeant, if you can, make us a warp in so we come in at range so we can rep PL.
What sort of distance
we need
you
help
want?
on the SV5 gate, please.
Yeah, everybody warp to SV5 gate at what range, Sergeant?
Warp at 0 for now. Warp at 0 for now. Warp at 0 for now.
Everybody warp at 0 to the SV5 gate. Everybody warp at 0 to the SV5 gate. Everybody make sure you're aligned to Plex Lord. Make sure you're aligned to Plex Lord. Plex Lord, you want to make sure that you take your ships away from the enemy fleet, and while you can still rep, okay?
Right.
FC FYI, there are several Celestises and Navies and shit like that, but if you land and everybody takes care of themselves, you should not have any issues because there's not that much DPS. It's all Maulers.
Yeah, but we don't have any DPS either.
Yeah, but you're giving help to your PL bros, so like, it's fine. Just keep your shit alive. Don't die. That's the main point.
Okay, can you get us a warp right now? We're pretty much off them. Okay, so Plex Lord, I want you to pull 2. I want you to go approach the ships that you have.
What's your desired warp in range?
We're just gonna burn into them. How far are you off? Give me 50 kilometers. Give me 50 kilometers.
I'll
everybody aligned to Sergeant Space Monkey. Everybody aligned to Sergeant Space Monkey. I broadcast him as the target. Do not engage him.
Negative. I'm way too close to the gate to warp to. If you want to warp to a ping and then warp back down, we can handle that. But right now, they are way too close to warp to.
Roger. I'm pinging. Everybody take the fleet warp. Everybody take the fleet warp. Let me know if anybody is scrambled. Let me know if anybody is scrambled. Everybody aligned.
We're going to have to leave, dude, as we don't have enough DPS to break them.
Have them aligned to the gray squares. Have them aligned to all the gray squares.
Well, they are saying they don't have DPS to break them. everybody align to the station. Everybody align to the station. They don't have the DPS to break them, so we can't really do anything. Okay, so we didn't get to play practice. So everybody take the fleet warp. Everybody take the fleet warp. We're going back to the station and standing down. It would have been fun to engage there, but I just got a whisper telling us that they couldn't break them anyway. So we don't want to die just in vain.
Sorry, guys. If we'd had a little bit more notice about the whole situation, we maybe could have done something. But it was we kind of got the notice at the end of the encounter, as it were.
Okay, so everybody just stuck up. And so while I have around 4 or 5 more minutes, if anybody have any questions, please speak up. I'll try to answer them best as I can.
So somebody was saying you can color code your broadcasts. How do you do that?
Yep. Hold on, I'll just tell you right now.
And then go to broadcast settings.
Yes, hamburgers for sure. Yep. If you have
a to the right.
Yeah, if you have your fleet window open, there should be a small square with 3 small lines to it on the top left corner of your fleet window. If you click on it and then you click on, it should give you a menu, and then you click on broadcast settings at the right of the window that pops up. So to the left of the window that pops up, you see what particular broadcast you will see. So you basically get to filter your broadcast. So, I don't want to see people that broadcast need armor when I'm flying a scythe because they're retarded and they don't deserve shield reps when they are actually broadcasting for need armor. That's totally an acceptable option. At the right of the window, you will see lots of little squares and with little down arrows to the right of them. Click on those down arrows, you get to select what color that particular type of broadcast shows up as. So like, I want all need armor and need shield broadcast to show up as green, for instance, and I want all broadcast space target broadcast to show up as red, which is something I particularly have set up. And the reason for that is because, hey, I want to shoot red things and I want to rep green things. That's a particular, option on my part, but yay, you can do that too if you want.
Yeah, thank you. That's nice.
You're welcome. I'm glad somebody said something because I was immediately thinking, my God, I was just talking to a wall for that, 27 minutes or whatever it was that I was talking.
You're all good. Any other questions here on the last minute? Okay, well, anyways, it was a pleasure, guys. Maybe in a week's time or something, I'll go over being a dictator pilot. And so that includes how you set up offensive bubbles and offensive bubbles and so on and so forth. And dictators play a very important role of either catching the enemies, making sure that they stay there so you can kill them. But they also make a very, very effective defense force, actually. And so, for example, against bombers, and also things that are really fast. So that are a great way to also keep those off the backs of enemy fleets. So I'll talk about that next time. But I hope you guys enjoyed it and talk to you.
Everybody thank Topperware for contributing his time and experience.
Thanks, man.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, learned a lot.
It was very valuable to see the cap chain working.